Never felt this way before. I'm high and I'm getting higher. Good Lord, I'm getting higher. Brother. Sunday fun day. I'm drinking my protein milk. This has 25 grams of protein, by the way. Amazing. Anyways. Shalom, fellas. Salam alaikum for the fellas. What's up for the fellas? Just got done playing football with my friends. It's a Sunday. I know, yesterday I slacked. It was a Saturday. I had a show. Then I had to show, then I had to go do a bunch of fucking things, and I had a party by Hungry 4. Hungry 4, you guys are taking over. I can respect that. I think Hungry 4 right now has the best parties in Lisbon. Respect, man. Hey bro, I'm gonna take my socks off, because I just finished playing football, and my fucking god, bro, my feet are hurting. I hate playing, not hate, but Jesus, playing with compression socks. Not compression socks, those socks that just fucking press your feet. Compress, I guess. They're not that, whatever. It's not like they're pressing my feet that much. Well, anyways. I slacked yesterday. I am aware of that. But I think it was extremely difficult yesterday to get an episode going. But yeah, let's get it going. Let's get it sorted for the Sunday Fun Day episode. What can we speak about today? Let us do a little brainstorming. Oh, okay. I think we can continue speaking about what I was speaking with my friends here, which is, first of all, the premise that I have is that, in my opinion, falling from like a building, right? Let's say you fall from like the second floor. You're not gonna die, okay? It's gonna hurt a lot, but you're not gonna die. I feel like if you fall from a building, from a high place, let's put it that way, if you fall naked versus with clothes on, I feel like falling naked hurts way more. Like, way more. Okay, that's basically my opinion on the matter. A friend of mine gave me a great fucking shout, a great answer, a great opinion on that as well, which is, well, technically, if you do fall butt naked, it should technically hurt less because you have less gravity pulling you, because you weight less. That's actually very true. But the thought of me falling against planet Earth, right, and me being butt naked hurts my brain. It's like when you fall on the floor and you're wearing like shorts or something and you just scratch your skin, you just scratch your knee. Not looking good, right? So this is what we were discussing. And another little interesting question that we had was, if we fall from like how tall does it have to be for you to die and not get severely injured? Okay? So let's say, I don't know, let's say you fall from like the second floor of a building. For example, actually, we can do this little thought experiment. Can you guys see? Okay, wait, where is it pointing to? So this building here, right? This building here, I can see that. So this balcony here, which is this looks like the first floor. So this one is the first floor. I think you might hurt yourself a little. You're not gonna become like paraplegic or anything, you know what I mean? You're still gonna be able to use your body, your legs. This one, right? This one here. So the second floor, right? This one here. I think you're gonna get hurt. Okay? I think shit isn't gonna be looking soft for you. Okay? I think shit's not gonna be looking Gucci Gucci. I think your legs are gonna be hurting. Okay? I think you might not even be able to walk ever again. From that's the second floor. The third floor, which is, wait, let me block the light so you guys, okay, this is extremely difficult. You guys can see the third floor, this one here. If you fall from this one, in my opinion, you're gonna fucking die. You're gonna die. How are you surviving that fall? You know what I mean? Like, how? You're not gonna survive. Ah, fuck, this light is... I'm high and I'm getting higher. You know what I mean? I don't see a world in which you fall from like the third floor of a building, the third floor of like an apartment, like a building, like a house. Not a house, but like a building. And you make it. You know what I mean? Like, there's no fucking way, bro. Can you see? Well, let's see if we can if I can show you this one. So you see the red pink-ish building, right? Like this one. Okay. Oh, it's not gonna. Fuck. Anyways, so this red one, exactly. This is what I wanted to do. Oh fuck. So this one, right? So you have the first, the second, and the third. You see how low the floor is. If you fall from like the second floor, I think you get pretty hurt. If you fall from the third floor, bro, you're dead. I don't know if you're 100% dead, but I think there's a pretty high chance you're gonna be speaking to your friends from like an iPad. That's what I think. I don't think these are good examples of heights though. But I don't know, because for example, you usually see people, for example, there, a bunch of years ago at Colombo, which is the most famous mall we have in Portugal, right? A guy just jumped off one of the bridges that connects the mall within the mall, from like going to one side to the other. He died, but you look at the height, it's like, it doesn't look that tall. Oh, of course, okay, sorry, I didn't say this. If you fall head down, I think if you jump from the first building, you're gonna die on the Bro, if you do a double leg on someone and you just raise him up off their hips and you point their head into planet Earth, they're gonna die, okay? I'm talking falling perfectly, feet first. The thing is with falling this way is that, from what I've heard, right? Not from what I've heard. This is from my imagination, okay? This is what I think. If you fall like this on your feet, like straight, everything has to go up. So our body is just gonna fucking collapse on its own. Like, yeah, how does the body like work in that aspect? Like, for example, these are our legs, right? We just hit the floor. Do our bones even crash into each other, or do they just, what is the bone reaction to like hitting the floor? Does the bone want to keep going up, right? And eventually reaches like a point like the hip in which it just can't go up more and it breaks off to the side and just, you know what I mean? It just leaves our body, but okay, I think this topic is kind of gross. I think this topic is kind of disgusting. But yeah, I gotta stick to it. I gotta think more about it. I do think that living on the third floor of a building is the perfect building height. Or the second floor. Second or third. You know what I mean? The first floor, I don't feel safe. First floor, I feel like if Spider-Man wants to get if a guy just puts a ladder on, he's gonna get into the balcony, if I have a balcony. Second floor, kind of tougher. It's gonna be you're gonna have to grind it out. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to grind it out. You're gonna have to thug it out. Third floor, I feel completely safe. third floor unless my neighbors below me are drying their fucking blankets outside and some fucking rock climber just decides to climb onto the third floor through the blankets, I think we're gonna be good. I do think the third floor is the best floor to live. Unless you live on like, if you live on like, God, yeah, that's a very Portuguese thing. Because I think most people outside, I mean, no, I think in Europe, the buildings aren't usually as tall as in America. Like, I think in Europe, at least in Portugal, like most buildings aren't fucking 50 floors tall. You know, most buildings here are like 5 floors tall. My house is four floors tall. Okay, it's not fucking big. It's not big at all. Not fucking big at all. Most buildings aren't big. Most buildings are the size of the buildings that I was showing you. They're like 1 floor, 2 floors, 3 floors, 4 floors, maybe 5 floors. If you're feeling bougie, if you're feeling bourgeoisie, if you're feeling you're part of the bourgeoisie. How do you say bourgeoisie? Wait. How do you say bourgeoisie? Bourgeoisie. Bourgeoisie English. Royalty? I don't think it's royalty. Bourgeoise. Are we really saying middle class? I don't think bourgeoisie is middle class, whatever. The bourgeoisie. Why is it French? Whatever. Oh, I wanted to also speak to you guys about the World Cup. I'm scared of the World Cup, fam. As a Portuguese supporter, I'm scared of the World Cup. We just had our first game. The first game, it was a friendly game against Mexico. I didn't stay up to watch the game. I was at a party, but apparently the game just was a stinker. It was 0-0, 0-0. No one scored a fucking goal. We just sucked, bro. We are a bunch of stinkers. We fucking smell horrible. We don't know how to play football. We don't want to play football. No one gives a fuck. But I think I'm really scared of the World Cup in America. Not gonna lie. I'm scared something might happen. Right, especially with this whole Iran thing. Like, people fucking died celebrating the Super Bowl. I don't think Americans understand the level of how big the World Cup is compared to the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is fucking nothing. Only you guys give a fuck about the Super Bowl. There's a lot of people outside the US that like to watch the Super Bowl. I like to watch the Super Bowl. I like to watch American football. I like to watch basketball. I like to watch a lot of American sports. Those two mainly. I've never really been a baseball guy. I don't really understand baseball. I think baseball is a very Latino thing. Not gonna lie. It seems like it is though. I don't know if it is. But yeah, I'm scared. I'm not even scared because I don't think we're gonna win because I think we just fucking suck. I think we have arguably the best team in the whole World Cup, but we're horrible. We don't know how to play the game of football. We have a coach that whatever. I'm not gonna get into that. I don't want to get into that. But I'm scared that the World Cup in America is probably the worst decision. I think it's FIFA who organizes the World Cup. Yeah, FIFA World Cup. Because America as a country doesn't seem particularly safe for like massive big events. I think it's how safe America is. It's not as dangerous as people make it out to be, right? But I do think that for massive big events, it is not going to be the safest place on earth, right? Kind of scared that something bad might happen. Look, take for example, yesterday, a fan just died at the game between Mexico and Portugal. I know it wasn't like a terrorist attack or anything. I think he just fell on the stands, like, I don't know, something like that. So he just fucking fell. But I'm scared that something might happen at the World Cup, and I don't like that feeling. I don't think anyone likes that feeling. I don't think America should have gotten the World Cup, to be honest, I think, especially because of the scheduling, because the FIFA is really pandering, the World Cup to the American people, which they absolutely should. They also deserve to watch the games. But I don't think it makes any sense, the schedule for the World Cup. The whole world. We might have the worst World Cup ever, especially in terms of scheduling. The first game of Portugal is going to be at 2 a.m. How many people are going to be up at 2 a.m. to watch a Portugal game that's going to end 0-0, 0-0, with 2 fucking shots on target? You know what I mean? Are people really going to stay up for that? Are people really going to make the effort to be fucked up at work, sleep deprived, just to watch a shitty fucking football game because the Americans decided, well, we're going to pander to our audience either way. It's not like they're going to watch the game. It's not like any fucking American is going to be watching a Portugal versus fucking Senegal game. You know what I mean? It's not like anyone in America is going to be... Wait, who's our first game against? Let me check that, actually. Who's the first game of Portugal in the World Cup against? Wait, is this for real? Uzbequistão. This is the third. What? Oh, no, it's against Chile. No, this is the friendly. Uzbekistan, às 6 da tarde. What? Wait, so are the games not going to be that bad? Because I thought the games weren't going to be at a... So, in my opinion, the schedule of the games was never going to be as shitty as people were pretending it to be. Like, everyone was saying the games were going to be at 2 a.m., 4 a.m., shit like that. And I was like, well, I don't know. I think the worst schedule, the worst time the games could possibly be is going to be probably at midnight, right? But which apparently it is. So, for example, we'll play against Uzbekistan. I don't know if that's how you say it in English, but at 6. 6 is a great schedule. I'm okay with that. Then we play against Colombia at midnight, midnight, which again is, it's not perfect, but, you know, it's not bad. I can get behind playing... Oh, yeah, but for example, Mexico plays against South Korea at fucking 2 a.m., man. Who's gonna be up to watch a game at 2 a.m., bro? You know, that's fucked up. There's not gonna be any motion for the World Cup. How are we gonna see games outside? Because this is a very big tradition here, at least in Portugal. I think everywhere in the world, every country does this. At least the ones that like to watch football. They just go to a place with people and we're all watching the game. We're all rooting for Portugal. We're all watching, like, fuck this World Cup, man. Fuck this World Cup. I'm high and I'm getting higher. This song stinks as well. The song stinks. It's a fucking stinker of a song. What happened to Waka Waka, bro? What happened to a good fucking World Cup song that everyone enjoys? I'm high and I'm getting... Fuck that, man. Jelly Roll. Who the fuck... I'm not saying Jelly Roll isn't a good fella, but I'm high and I'm getting... Get the fuck out of here, man. Who's... There's not a single kid in the world that's gonna be, I'm high and I'm getting high. You know, the World Cup is also about kids. It's also about little boys, little girls. You can, when I was a kid, I was doing the waka waka, waka waka, You know, I'm not gonna be, I'm high and I'm getting high. What do you even do listening to this song? Nothing. Nothing. Do you ride a horse? Do you put on I don't know. Do you put a little piece of wheat on your mouth and you put your hat on your face and just go onto the shadow of a tree to chill out? That makes no fucking sense. Bro, this World Cup sucks, bro. This World Cup sucks. I think this has the potential to be the worst World Cup ever. And I'm usually a very optimistic person, but I don't think it's going to be fun. think it's gonna be boring. I think the schedule is gonna be horrible. I think no one is gonna give a fuck about the song. Isn't memorable. The song is horrible. It's in America. I don't know. I've never been to America. America seems like to be a cool place, but it's not a place for football. I don't know. I get that they want to make it a place for football. It's never gonna be a place for football, man. It's not. You guys have American football. You guys have baseball. You guys have basketball. Football is a poor man's thing. Football has always been a poor man's thing. You just get, you just walk around in your flip flops. You have 2 flip flops. That's a goal. You can play ball. I used to play ball on the street with my shoes off. Shoes are making a goal, and we're kicking a plastic bottle. That's football. Okay, you can't play American football if you don't have that weird. There's a name for the ball. I don't remember, but there's a name for the ball that they use. You can't play American football if you don't have that ball. You can play catch, I guess, which is pretty much the same thing as American football. You can't play, baseball is probably the closest thing to a poor man's game as well, you know? But even baseball, if you don't have a ball that's throwable, how are you gonna play it? If you don't have a bat, if you don't have a bat to hit the ball, how are you gonna play it? How are you gonna play basketball if you don't have a hoop and the ball? You can't make a hoop out of nothing. I can pretend I literally see a goal right in front of me. You see these two trees? This is a goal. When I was a kid, this is a goal. If you get a ball, if you get something that moves, that's a ball. It doesn't necessarily even have to be a ball. It can just be a plastic bottle. If it's kickable, it's gonna be a ball. You know, but you can't do, I guess you can do that with basketball, but it doesn't really work as well, in my opinion. But you know what I mean? Football has always been this poor man's thing, which is awesome, which is great, but America doesn't particularly have a poor man's sport, in my opinion, because all of them require equipment. All of them require X things, a hoop, a bat, a fucking whatever, a specific sort of ball that has to spin in a specific way. Bro, I have a plastic fucking bottle. This is a ball. You just see the goals that I showed you. There's a tree, there's one tree, there's another tree. That's a goal. America's never going to be able to understand that. Jesus Christ, she just squirted all over my face, which is awesome. It's great, but I don't think football is ever going to be big in America. I don't know why. Again, I think the other sport, which is, you know why I think this is sort of weird? Because America is a country of immigrants, right? And it's mainly a country of people who immigrated from Europe, mainly, and South America. So Mexicans, mainly, I would say. So I think that this is from my perspective. The main people who went to America were Mexicans. Mexicans were mainly already there because it was Mexicans, it was French, it was Louisiana, it was Mexicans with California and whatnot, and it was the English with New York, Pennsylvania, that sort of thing. That's from my perspective. I could be completely wrong, by the way. I'm not a great American historian. I'm gonna keep it a bucket with y'all. And there's also a bunch of Italians and whatnot. There's also a bunch of Portuguese. That's totally fine. I don't think there's as many Portuguese and Italians as there are Englishmen, French, originally French, and Mexican, Spanish-speaking people. I know Louisiana was French, France owned it, but is there like a big like French influence there? That's interesting. I have no idea. Wait, are we 20? Oh, we're 25 minutes. But yeah, scared for the World Cup. This episode was grotesque, to say the least. I'm not in the mood to do an episode. I'm extremely tired. I feel disgusting. I just wanted to take a shower. I'm sorry about this episode. Got all over the place. I think the topic that we had to begin with wasn't great, and I had to pivot to something else. So apologies for that. But tomorrow we'll be back with another episode. Don't worry, I'll do a better job tomorrow. And yeah, we'll keep it moving. I think the important thing today was the fact that we just did it and we powered through it for 25 minutes. So yeah, it doesn't matter that it wasn't good. All it matters is that you did it, that we did it. So guys, thank you so much. If you stick around till the end, I really appreciate that a lot. I rambled a bunch, so if you didn't, that's totally fine. I understand that. Don't worry. Take it easy, fellas. Shalom. Stay sharp. Stay frosty. And yeah, hopefully, again, I don't want anything bad to happen in the World Cup. I'm hoping that nothing bad happens. I just have a bad feeling about it. So yeah. Goodbye. Shalom. Sabat. Mazel tov. Salam alaikum. Goodbye. Namaste. I forgot to see what to say for the Asian people. So yeah, you guys are gonna have to take the namaste for now and the goodbye.